Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today it's about something called addictions. And I think that a lot of people, when we first hear the word addictions, we can think of anything from alcohol to drugs. Maybe some people think about food also. And what's really interesting is that we can basically be addicted to anything. It can not only be food, but certain types of food, of course. We can be addicted to working out, to being intimate with somebody, to have compliments. There is so many types of addictions, and usually an addiction is, defined by something that you, even when using willpower, can't stop doing, even though it has a negative effect on your life. So when talking about addictions, it's pretty, common. Most people knows that you have something, something is triggering, a negative emotion or something you want to avoid, and then you go to the thing you use, which could be anything. So what actually happens is when we are in a situation, there's different things that could happen. But an example is, let's say that a trigger for you when you were a kid was that when you were stressed, you felt the relief when your grandmother, she gave you cookies and you sat together and she was spending time with you and giving you a hug. And the mind can actually misinterpret what is happening, so the cookie seems to be the thing that is comforting. Of course, there is a biological reaction to sugar and all that, but usually it's just a connection that the brain makes at that time because it doesn't know all the other options that could be for the same thing. Also, it might, happen that what is actually giving the comfort in the frightening situation is the attention and the, closeness from the grandmother, not actually the cookie. But if the cookie is present while it's happening, the brain can actually say that was the cookie, and suddenly we can find ourselves, when being uncomfortable, when feeling fear, going for something sweet and crunchy specifically. It doesn't necessarily have to be cookies, but that is just one example. So a way to remove it, or the way I remove it, is usually going through a process with people where I take them back and they realize what actually felt good, and it's usually not the actual stimuli they do. Another thing I can do is to give the brain other options, because back then we had the experience that this thing we are addicted to is the only thing that can produce that feeling for us, that won't make, that's the purpose of that, is to take us away from something we don't want to experience. So of course one approach is to look at why do you feel the stress and remove that trigger so you don't have the stress altogether. But also the other dimension is, whenever the stress is, until we have removed it, let's find another way to deal with it, so that you won't have the result. For example, if you're eating a lot of sweets, maybe you don't want to do that because you don't want to, health-wise do that. And it could be anything. It could also be a problem, being addicted to, for example, compliments from people, because that will make you maybe go to length and do something and down prioritize other things that you really want to do to please other people, to get that attention, and you get really addicted to other people. That's, by the way, a way to end up in a very unhealthy relationship. So it has like a lot of dimensions, but the simple thing is, when we are addicted to something, what is kicking it off is there's a trigger, something happens that makes us feel a certain way that we don't want to feel or avoid, and then we do something that, distract us from the feeling or give us the feeling we actually want. And it's actually possible to give the brain other opportunities to handle the addiction, so that you stop automatically needing to do a certain thing. Because even though it seems to us, that's a funny thing, it seems to us like that's the only thing we can do. That is the only thing that helps me. And it just takes time, and it just takes practice. Not really, because it's about the disconnection. It's about what is actually programmed in your brain, what your system have learned. And you can disconnect that. So if that's something you know about and you feel like it's something you want to learn more about, you can also always click in the link in the description, and there's a form where, if you have this issue and you are interested to get rid of it, you can fill out the form and we can have a chat based on that to see how I can help you. Other than that, I just want to let you know that all people have all kinds of addictions, And if you really want to get rid of one or more, it is definitely possible, and it does not have to take a long time. And yes, on the other side of an addiction, there is certainly a lot of freedom. And yeah, I've been addicted to weird like habits and certain foods that now, when I eat these foods, I really don't like them. So it's just strange that something I felt like I needed, that was the best in the world, suddenly is not even something I want to do anymore. So that's just an example. But anyway, this was a request, an addiction video, and if you have certain topics you think could be interesting, or specific situation you're in you want to hear more about, you can just let me know, and I will take note of that and might make a video about it. So yeah, you can like and subscribe if you haven't already, and you can follow the new channel I've made with topics like this. I consider to maybe stop Thoughtful Thursday, or maybe just do it once a month, and then instead people can go to my new channel to get this content, to just not mix it all together. So if you have an opinion about that, you can let me know in the comment section. And also, thanks for watching. Hope I will see you very soon.